Hello there and welcome to the Card Grotto. Today I'm using Altenew holiday products for a non-holiday card. I'm sharing two ways to enhance die cuts with ink blending and glitter paste. So let's get started. I'm using the Festive Greenery die set today. Really beautiful set with lots of different foliage in. You can see on the inside it shows you where to adhere the berries. It is pretty self-explanatory, but I do really like having these guides inside of the packaging here. So I'm going to die cut the greenery from some, I suppose, non-traditional colours. Since I'm using what is generally holiday product in the Festive Greenery, I want to create a winter birthday card rather than a Christmas holiday card. So I'm going for some slightly brighter colours here. So I'm taking the fern piece and then also this kind of leaf branch here, and I'm going to cut those from the bamboo cardstock. I'm then taking the other pieces, which I think look a little bit like mistletoe. You could definitely do white berries here, and I think that that would work quite nicely. But I've got two of these berry branches here, and I'm going to cut one of them from Aqualicious cardstock, and then the other one from Dewdrops cardstock. So I'm just cutting these pieces of cardstock smaller. I like to try and save all of my scraps, really great for die cutting. And I'm holding the dies down onto the cardstock with some low tack tape. That just helps to prevent them shifting while I'm running them through my die cutting machine. I'm then taking the berries and I'm going to cut those from pink diamond cardstock. I am going to cut these multiple times because although they're made to go on these branches, I am using them in a slightly different way, and I will share that a little bit later. So I'm going to run those through my die cutting machine. I'm using the Platinum 6 today, but any die cutting machine will work. Although they would have all fitted on the one plate, I decided to cut them separately because this fern piece is quite intricate and I wanted to make sure that it cut nicely. So I did actually run it through and then run it back through again, and it cut perfectly. So I can now pop out all of these pieces from the negative, and then I'm going to bring in my perfect picker here just to pop out all of the pieces inside. So I can do that with all of these pieces. And although I do think they look really nice just with the cardstock, I am going to enhance the die cuts in two different ways. And the first way is to add a little bit of ink blending on them. I do this quite a lot. You've probably seen it in lots of my videos if you watch them. But I also do really like just having the die cuts on their own. But I do think adding just a small amount of ink blending onto die cuts really does make a big difference to the overall look of the card. Just helps them to not look so flat, just adds a little bit of dimension onto them. So I've placed the first two down onto my sticky mat here, and I'm using a mini blending brush and the Green Valley Fresh Dye Ink collection, and I'm starting off by using Firefly. Now this colour of ink is only just slightly darker than the colour of the cardstock, but I do really like to have like a transitional colour when I'm doing ink blending on top of die cuts, because I want the lightest colour, which in this case is the cardstock. I want that to show. So I don't want to kind of have any harsh lines between the ink blending, if that makes sense. And so if I add a lighter colour on first, it's just going to give a really nice transition between the colour of the cardstock and then the darker inks that I add on top. So I'm now going in with Grass Field, and I started off with that mini blending brush, but because I want to try and focus this darker colour towards the base of these leaves here on this other piece, I want to go in with a micro blending brush, just so that I can get into those tiny little areas a little bit better. I can now go in with Shadow Creek, and I've switched to the mini blending brush again for this fern piece. I'm just adding this darker colour onto the fern piece because I wanted it to be a little bit darker. For the berry branches, I'm using the Sweet Dreams Fresh Dye Ink collection, and I'm starting off with the lightest shade, which is Dewdrops. So this is the same colour as what this cardstock is on this branch here, and again I'm just using that more as a transition colour for adding the darker inks on top. And I'm doing the same thing here for the Aqualicious ink on this piece, since the cardstock is also Aqualicious. Although the inks go on a little bit darker, as they dry they do lighten up a little bit, so you're not going to, like I say, see this much, but now I can add darker colours on top and I'm going to get a really nice smooth blend. So I have switched to the micro blending brush again and used that Aqualicious on the lighter branch, and now I can go in with Teal Cave, and again I'm just trying to focus the darker colour towards the base of these leaves here. I'm not too worried about where the berry's going to go because that's going to get covered up by the other die cut. And you can see that as I add this Teal Cave onto the piece here, it really does kind of bring it to life, adds lots of depth and dimension. So I can do the same thing here for the other branch. And then for this one, I'm also going to go in with Galactic Stream, which is the darkest colour in the collection. Just really darken up the base of those leaves. I did want there to be a difference between these two branches. There's not a huge amount of difference, but one is just slightly darker than the other. For the berries, like I say, I've cut these a few times, the individual ones, and I'm going to layer those up on top of the cluster of them for one of the branches. So I'm going in here with Pinkalicious Fresh Dye Ink. These are from the Cherry Blossom Fresh Dye Ink collection, and again using that micro blending brush. The clusters are going to get covered up. This cluster here that I'm working on, it is going to get covered up by the individual berries, but they are slightly smaller than that piece, so I'm just making sure that I'm adding some ink blending into the centre, since that's where it would be the darkest. I'm now going in with a Razzleberry ink, just adding a very small amount of that just onto kind of one edge of these berries. Again, it's just going to help them make them look a little bit more rounded. So you can really see the difference here between the die cut that hasn't got any ink blending on and the ones that do. Like I say, I do like both. I think they've got really nice look to them both, but you can see that it really does just add a little bit extra depth dimension onto the die cuts. So that's why I do quite like to do that. I can now adhere the berries on top of these branches, just using some liquid glue. So just adding that onto that branch there, and then I can pop this cluster of berries on top. I can then add some more glue on top of those, and then pop the individual berries on top. And you can see that as I add them on top, they are just slightly smaller, but actually I think it gives, again, a little bit of extra dimension. Even though these are completely flat, it does give the kind of appearance of dimension, which I like. Although I think this greenery does look really pretty straight onto a card, I did want to ground it a little, and I like using tags for this. So I've cut one of the medium-sized tags from the Terrific Tags die set, one of the ones with the fishtail banner at the bottom. I really love the shape of these tags. And I've cut that from Classic Crest £110 Solar White cardstock. And then I've cut the whole reinforcer from the Labels and Tags 1 die set, and I'm just adhering that over the top. I don't always do this, but I do think it kind of finishes off the tags really nicely. So I can now start adhering all of my greenery onto this tag. So I'm starting off with this fern piece because it's quite large. I thought it would make quite nice kind of backdrop to the other greenery that I'm going to add on top. I've just added the glue into that centre portion. I want all of these greenery pieces, because I wasn't planning on adhering them down with foam tape, to kind of lift up a little bit at the tips and kind of like at the edges. It helps to add a bit of dimension onto it without actually having to add any dimension, if that makes sense. So just adding small dabs of glue there, and that will be enough to kind of stick them in place. But like I say, still give a little bit of movement onto these branches. So I'm just figuring out here the placement of these pieces. I really wanted to use this one here because I just really love the shape of these leaves, but I felt that it was just going to be too busy. Already it is quite busy, but I do quite like how they kind of layer on top of each other. So I decided just to cut that little piece down and have this here on the left hand side. I did want something to kind of overlap onto the left hand side of this tag, just a small amount. It does help to just balance it out slightly, even though I'm going for more of a kind of asymmetrical look. So now I can adhere this one down on top. So again, just adding those small dabs of glue onto the back of these leaves here. And then I can pop that in place. And then it was kind of like at this point that I thought it would actually be quite nice to add a little bit of foam tape just behind some of these leaves here on this last branch that I've just added. I am going in and just kind of lifting them up a little bit with my tweezers, but like I say, I did think it would be quite nice to kind of actually have some of them with the dimension. So I've cut some small pieces of instant dimension foam tape, just removing the backings off of those. And then I can pop those down behind a few of these leaves. And that's not only going to hold them in place, but also add that dimension onto the tag as well. I am a person who thinks that tags look a little bit naked without having some twine or something through the whole of the tag. So I've got some black twine that I have folded in half, threaded that through the whole of the tag and secured that at the front. And now I can tie that in a bow. So I'm just going to fiddle with the bow a little bit. I personally really like to have one of the tails at the top and one of the tails down below. And I'm also going to leave them fairly long. I do actually like it to look kind of like it's part of the design rather than kind of like an afterthought, if that makes sense, and kind of added on top. So I do like to keep those tails quite long. For the card itself, I've got a panel of Dewdrops cardstock. I'm adding some glue tape onto the back of that, and I can adhere that down onto an A2 size white card base. So that's a finished size of 4¼ inches by 5½ inches. Just trying to line that up as best as possible. If I can see any of the card kind of at the edges, I am just going to cut that off using my guillotine. I can now add some instant dimension foam tape onto the back of the tag, and I'm using the wide version of the instant dimension foam tape just so that I don't have to add too much onto the back of this. But I am just going to add 2 small pieces at the top, making sure that that not only is going to stick really well, but it's also going to give some stability to that tag on top of the card as well. So I can remove the backings off of the foam tape using my tweezers, and then I can adhere that down onto the card. And I apologise that my fringe, if you're not British, that means bangs. I apologise that they're getting in the way here, but I wanted to lean right over as best as I could without getting my head in the camera, just to make sure that I line this up straight onto the card base. I have then stamped and embossed a sentiment from the Soft Blossoms stamp set onto Crafty Necessities jet black cardstock. I've cut that down into a strip and adhered that down onto the card with some more foam tape. I'm now just using the end of the Perfect Picker here just to go around those die cuts. When die cutting, often you can get little fibres of the cardstock just kind of hanging around, and so it just neatens up the look of the card if you remove those as best as possible. For the second way to enhance die cuts is to add some kind of shimmer onto them. I think it looks really pretty, and in this instance I'm going to add the shimmer onto the berries to kind of give a little bit of a frosty look. And for this I'm using the iridescent glitter relief paste. So I'm adding a small amount of that onto my non-stick sheet here, and I'm going to apply the glitter paste with my brush. I am using an old paintbrush here. Actually, this glitter paste cleans up really, really nicely, even from paintbrushes. But I don't want to use my best paintbrush here, so I'm definitely using a slightly older one. And I'm taking the brush and I'm dabbing that onto the berries. I want to give a little bit of a kind of like dimension to these, and so it kind of gives a little bit more, like I say, of a frosty look. There are a few different ways that you can apply this paste in this way onto die cuts. You could absolutely add the paste onto the cardstock first, let it dry and then die cut it out, and that's a really great way to do it. You would definitely get more of a flatter look by doing it that way. By doing it with the brush, I'm going to get the kind of marks of the brush into that paste. Once this paste dries, the medium does dry completely clear, and then you get that really lovely iridescent glitter, and like I say, it's going to give kind of like a frosty look, and by dabbing it on in this way, I'm going to get some dimension onto those berries as well. And like I say, once that dries, it is going to dry completely clear, and you just get that really beautiful glitter from them. And just to add a little bit more sparkle, I'm using the clear iridescent stellar sequins. I think that paste would look really pretty on the edges of the leaves as well, but I just wanted for this card just to add it onto the berries. So for the sequins, I'm adding small dabs of glue onto the card and then popping the sequins on top using my tweezers. And this one wanted to stick to the tweezers, so I've kind of smeared a little bit of glue onto the card. Ordinarily with this glue, it dries completely clear, and if I was using a white card base, I honestly wouldn't bother at this point to try and cover it up. But since I'm using that Dewdrops cardstock, I felt that you might get a little bit of a sheen from it, so I decided to cover up that with an extra sequin. So I can just finish off by adding some of these kind of behind some of the leaves, sometimes on top of the leaves. I feel that that just kind of makes it look a little bit more part of the design. And that is the card finished for today. I really love that sparkle on the berries, and I really love the look of the card. Although it is a birthday card, it obviously would be perfect for a winter birthday, but you could change up the sentiment and have this as a holiday card as well. But it's really great to be able to use your holiday products in a slightly different way. Links to the products that I used will be listed in the description bar on YouTube and also over on my blog. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.